Now,
Mic glitch.
string. String is a sequence of characters. String in Python. String in Python are identified as contiguous set of characters represented in the quotation marks. Now, basically, string is a combination of your characters. So it is separated by double quotes. You can use single quotes also. So Python allows either pair of single or double quotes. A subset of string can be taken using a slice operator. Now basically this slice is something you are extracting some portion of any amount surface or kind of thing. For example, you are just clipping or taking out a slice of a cheese from a cheese cube. So it is a similar way. You can extract some portion of that string with that indices. So with the indexes starting at 0 in the beginning of the string, working their way to from -1 to the end. So the plus sign is the string concatenation operator and the asterisk is the repetition operator. So these are the functions you can use with the string. So plus sign is used as string concatenation operator. So basically concatenation is used for joining of two strings, and repetition is for occurrences of that particular string or character in that string for more than single time. So you can see here we have str hello world. So our string is hello world. So we are just printing str. Then we are printing first character of the string. Then we are printing characters starting from third to fifth. Then string two. Then two times test. So these are the operations that can be performed on string. Now let's see what are the outputs we are getting. Suppose we are passing hello string, then hello world h, hello world, hello world test. So we will be implementing this practically. So let's start with Python. Ideally, I hope my screen is visible. Let me just share that screen again. So I'm just sharing this. Untitled again. So I'm here. I'm passing str equal to uh, Python programming. Done. Now I'm just printing str. Let's see what kind of output it generates. I'm just printing str. You can just refer in just by passing that indices number str 0. So you can take out slice from that string itself. Let's say I'm just slicing that elements from fourth or to first to fifth. I'm slicing that string here. You can just assign simple operations. You can just perform that operation simply. I'm just assigning, let's say, just passing these values. We'll check out what kind of output it generates. You can just concatenate with that string also within that string, or you can just use that repetition operator. Suppose I want to print that string for 3 times, I can use this operator. If I want to concatenate with that string some extra value, I'll be using that plus operator, which is known as concatenation operator. But remember, when you passing any parameter or characters, so it should be enclosed within double quotes either or in single quotes. So Python programming, I'm just concatenating it with SYT. So done with this. Let me save this file. So it's saying that strop string op. File name is string op. So I'm just running that module. I'm just running that module. See, you can note this output. You can note this output. See, you can just note this output. First, initially we have printed your Python programming, then first input, then Python and Python programming three times, then Python programming SYIT. So this is used for concatenation. So similar way, you can just concatenate with this files or strings basically. Moving ahead with our next slide. Let me again come back to screen. You can traverse within that string or within that for loop. So traversal as a for loop, a lot of computation involves processing a string, one character at a time. Now, basically your difference in between traversal and searching is similar. Now, when we refer to a traversal in any data structure or anything, so traversal is visiting each and every element of that context at least once, and searching is directly looking for that value. So for the start at the beginning, select each character in turn, do something to it, and continue until the end. This pattern is processing is called traversal, means you are visiting at each element at least once in a linear order or a particular order. That will be in a sorted sequence. So Python provides a very useful language feature for traversing in many compound types. The for loop, the for loop. So example is given. You can take any sequence, or you can see you can take any character string. Here fruit equal to banana, so for carrying fruit you can traverse within that piece of code. So prefix you can just add, suffix you can add, and for later in prefixes, print later and suffixes. So this is example we can perform here. I'm just saying new, just using string, just passing that string. Let's say I'm passing fruit equal to pineapple. Now I want to traverse within that string for what I want to traverse for car in fruit. Remember, don't forget to add colon after this car. I'm just want to print car in this current context. So let me save this. I'm saving this with str. So let me just finish this. Just sharing the output with you. It will print each and every character present inside that fruit string. Pineapple. You can notice. Done with this. I hope it is clear. Now moving ahead, you can just prefix and suffix. Another example you can take, not an issue. Let me just again save this file in a different name. End of while file while scanning string little. Okay, not an issue. See, you can see there are changes in this double quote. Just make sure you have close that properly. Again, resaving that file. Unexpected indentation. See this suffix and prefix. It has to be like unexpected indentation, obviously. Missing parenthesis called to print. Do you mean print later plus suffix? So here I have not used that double quote or single quote. Oh, sorry, a parenthesis. Literally, we have to pass that parenthesis in this. See, unless and until you receive some kind of errors during your practicals, you're not able to succeed, or you're not able to. I hope it is clear. It is visible. See this code. Just running this again. So you can see suffix and prefix. Suffix is something that will be added in the beginning of that portion of that string, and prefix is last. It will be added to the last. So here in this program, what we have done is we have prefixed JK, LM, OPQ, and suffixes AK. Means whenever you try to run this string, so ACK will be added in the suffix portion. So see J. So after each character, suffix is added at the back. Clear? Now moving ahead, again getting back to the screen. You can have string slice as we already discussed. What is a string slice? A substring of a string is called a slice. A substring of a string is called a slice. So selecting a slice is similar to selecting a character. So here S is given Peter, Paul and Mary. So we are printing S zeroth from zeroth position. You can see this is your zero position. Your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Considering this white space character of blank space, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. So from 0th to 5th position, so it will return 0 to 5th. If you print 7 to 11, it will return Paul. If you print or slicing that 17 to 21, it will return Mary. Now, one special notes I have mentioned, the operator n and m returns a part of the string from the nth character to the mth character, including the first but excluding the last. Now remember this slicing, so it will include part of the string from nth character. Suppose nth character is there with this mth character, but excluding last. So it would include first character excluding last. If you check this Peter, 5 characters are there, 0 to 5. So it will print 5. Done. Now moving ahead. So fruit, here we have fruit banana, string as banana. So it will be indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total 6 characters are there. So if you omit the first index before the colon, the slice start at the beginning of the string. If you omit the second index, the slice goes to the end of the string. So you can just cross check with this. I'm just passing this string here. Let's say new file. So it is better to perform practicals on this shell script instead of directly running that practicals on your command prompt. Just getting back to this. I'm just passing fruit. I'm taking the same example. So I want to print fruit 0 comma. We are just slicing that element. String slices this. You can cross check with this. So we have not received any output here. Let's cross check again. Just simply saving this file. You can see you have to make some changes while running. So it's not like you have received some code from somewhere around and you are directly running that code on that compiler or interpreter. So you can just notice the changes. Output we got bang. If you are printing this fruit slice like from 3 and colon, so you will receive a different output definitely. Just see, note the difference between the output of this thing. Now moving ahead, strings are immutable. Now what do you mean by immutable? Immutables are the objects that cannot be changed. So strings are immutable, which means you can't change an existing string. Strings are immutable, which means you can't change an existing string. The best you can do is to create a new string that is a variation on the original. So it means you can perform some variations on the existing strings, but you are not allowed to change the existing string. So basically here we have passed one string, that is your hello world. So new greeting equal to j plus greeting and colon. So we are performing some kind of variation or operations on these strings. The solution here is concatenate a new first letter on those slice of greeting. So this operation has no effect on the original string. So your original screen is your hello world. Hello world. But you are, see, you have passed new screen, new string, new greeting, and you are adding this C. So strings are immutable. So Python basically provides two types of objects. One is mutable and another is immutable. Immutable means you are not able to change, and mutable is you can change within that objects. Now see, searching within a string with very simple thing. It determines if string str occurs in a string or in a substring of a string. If your starting index, beginning and ending index are given. See, when we are look up for some values, or we are determining, or we are finding for any particular value within that things, so we need to be aware of your scope. For example, suppose I have given an assignment or a task for searching or looking for best vada pav stall in Kalyan West. Best vada pav stall in Kalyan West. So my boundaries are restricted. We have to look up for, or look up within this Kalyan West region, starting from a precise point and a starting point and ending point. Similarly, here you can find a syntax is simple: str.find str, the string you want to find, beginning equal to 0, end equal to length of that string. Obviously, end will be your length of that string, entire string. Parameters str to specify the string to be searched, and beginning, this is a starting index, by default it is 0, and end, this is the ending index, by default it is equal to the length of this string. It will return index value if found, otherwise it will return -1. So you can see str1, this is string example wow. So this string is string 1, str2 example. Now we are finding str1 dot find str2. So basically we are finding string 1 in a string 2. So you can see some characters are written. If you are finding string 1 dot find str1 comma 10, so it will return 15. Now if you are finding str2 40th value 40, so it will return 1. So if the required substring is not found in available string, no index found, it will always return 1. Note that thing, it is very important thing. If the required substring is not found in the available string, that is no index found, so it will always return -1. Note down this thing. So you can see this practical implementation of this. So I'm just getting back to my file. I hope it is clear. Screen is visible. So here I am just taking two string str1 equal to hello one, and I am passing string 1 string str2 equal to fine. So I just want to identify the values of string 1 and string 2. So I may look up for just printing str1 sorry str1 dot find method. Now what was our syntax basically? We need to be very precise about that things. Basically you can directly pass that value str2. Let's see what output it produces. I'm just saving this string, just running this module unexpected end of file while parsing. Basically I have not added an extra parenthesis. Now just simply run this module. It will see -1 because you can see there is no occurrence of string 1 into string 2. There is nothing common in between. You can just add up these values, copy this context or copy this code similarly. Just see, just saving this file again. So it is just showing -1. So we have nothing in between string 1 and string 2. Let's try this with this common example. This is string example. String 2 will be your exam, the most scariest thing in student's life. So I'm just running this module. So you can see 15 and 15 as per the expectation of us. I hope this output is visible. Shell. You can see the changes. Now moving ahead with this screen. The in operator is very important thing. String methods you can add variable, method name and arguments. This in operator is very important thing. The in operator tests if one string is a substring of another. So it is used for identifying a substring of that string. So you can look up for, see, you can directly run that shell script. So I'm just restarting this shell. I'm just closing this shell. Python ideally. So I'm just looking for fill in just add false. See, you have no occurrence. You have no occurrence of p in banana, so it will return a boolean value that is false. Now, if you look up for x in life, see there is no x in your life, so it is x, not ex. So x is not in life. Study in true. See, just study. There is no life. Clear? You can type ex in future. See, there is no x in your future. So x is in past. Clear? Now moving ahead, you can just use this in operator for determining a string substring of a string. Now string comparison, you can compare in between the strings whether it is equal. So how to identify two strings are equal? It must contain the same length. Now moving ahead, we have string operations. So we'll be basically discussing 4 to 5 operations. So capitalize the first letter of a string. Then center, align your string at a center. Then we have count. You can count the number of characters or string occurrence in other string. Then decode and encode. Then we have several other operation ends with expand types, find, index, is alphanumerical value. What is an is alphanumerical value? It determines whether your string is an alphanumerical value. Means it is a combination of characters and numbers. Now is title is upper join sequence length. Totally, basically we have 40 methods of your string functioning. 40 operations you can perform your string. So we'll be more discussing about these methods in upcoming lectures while performing these practicals also. So few important methods you have to focus on, that is your R find, then lower, L strip, swap case, little case, upper case, translate and all that. So remember string are immutable. What is an immutable? You are not allowed to change the original things. Though you can try some variations on that, but it will not reflect on your original string. I hope it is